So I want to talk about, like I said, I want to talk about creating existence. How do you go about creating existence? It obviously takes place. Apple didn't exist, now it exists. Everything that you've seen, you know, the President of the United States at one point didn't exist. There was no such thing as the President of the United States. Now, if I said that President of the United States doesn't exist, you say, are you crazy? We bring things into existence and we have control over that existence. And I want to show you some techniques and some processes that you must do if you want something to come into existence. And this is sort of it. Starting first of all with ideas, and I picked on ideas before, didn't I? I said ideas were just brain sparks, and that was lucky I used that word. Ideas don't have value. Sorry guys, I've got this idea, I want to sell it, no one wants to buy it. There is no market for ideas. Anyway, whatever idea you've come up with, it's going to take 100 times more smarts to implement that idea than coming up with it. Ideas are just dime a dozen. The guy that can take an idea and actually implement it and make a successful business, that's the rarity. That's the guy with the smarts, not the guy that came up with it. Ideas are everywhere. It's the doers that are the rare thing. Plenty of people sit down and they have these ideas and they think they're very, very clever. Honestly, they're just putting together, it's a bit like a kaleidoscope. They hold a kaleidoscope and they turn and say, wow, look, I've created something new. Wow, some more stuff. You know, all you're doing is rearranging other people's thoughts and calling them your ideas. But that's all it's done. You've just organized other people's ideas. No biggie. It's of no value. So it's a bit frightening, that, isn't it? This is the one that gets most people. If you want your idea to grow and become real, you actually have to share it. You actually have to tell people about it. You have to actually promote it. But people will steal it. If someone can steal, people can steal your idea, yeah? They can't steal your opportunity. I don't know whether that makes sense. Ideas are easily stolen. The reason why it's your opportunity is because you're uniquely skilled and resourced and timed to take advantage of that opportunity. They aren't. And if someone takes your idea and runs with it, it was probably their idea anyway. Probably wasn't your idea. Your opportunity cannot be stolen. The only way your opportunity doesn't happen is because you don't go ahead with it. You lack the courage to actually make it happen. Ideas are for flaunting egos. A lot of people, that was my idea. Yeah, but you didn't make it happen. And most ideas break on the rock of market acceptance anyway. You take the idea, take it to market, market just crushes it. So I'm pretty down on ideas. And the reason I say that is because I get so many people come up to me with these great ideas and they think they've got something special. And I just, you know, nothing happened. You tell me that you've got this idea and you've created a website and you've actually gone out and tested it, or you've created the cupcakes and you've taken to work. Now you got my attention because you're actually moving to a point of proof of concept. That's much more interesting to me than just an idea. Ideas are just like I say, kaleidoscopes. Okay, you've taken a few people's ideas and you've shuffled them around and come up with something new. They really don't have any commercial value. So I picked on it a bit. So what I want to do is I want to, instead of just coming up with ideas, I want to make things happen. And this is how we do it. Ideas are an illusion, and they are a dangerous illusion. We think they're valuable. I've got this idea and I think it's really valuable. That's such a bad illusion to think that your idea is valuable. We think they're real, but we think dreams are real too, don't we? And isn't it good that they're not? Don't you wake up sometimes, you look around and say, whew, it was a dream. I didn't fall over that mountain. But they're a trap for inaction. Because we're so good at coming up with ideas, we just got all of these ideas, we actually don't do anything about it. We actually don't create existence. We just let these things float around our heads and we don't do anything about it. We've got to make this idea a reality. We've got to create some existence out of this idea. We've got to move it from the mental space into the physical space, into something that our brain actually does believe in. Because our brain doesn't even believe in your idea. When it wakes up with that dream, it goes, oh, it's only a dream. Whoosh. Same with the ideas. Oh, it's only an idea. Whoosh. It's of no value. Your brain doesn't throw any commitment at it because it's just something that's happening up inside your head. It's not actually happening. And so ideas need commitment, and commitment follows existence. So we need to turn this idea and create existence. Now that sounds really funny. If we don't create existence, you know what your brain does? Your brain never treats it seriously. Your brain doesn't even think about it because you haven't committed to it. So your brain goes, oh, it's okay. He's just had another brainwave. It'll be gone by the morning and we can move on to another idea tomorrow. to get an idea to happen, you've got to create existence. And this is how we do it. So to create existence, your mind needs to see your idea as existing in real life. Because once something exists, then you get care and you get attention. Once, you know, if any of you have been lucky enough to have children or unlucky enough to have children, depending on your perspective at the moment, that once they exist, boy, care and attention, you wouldn't believe. Same with an idea. Once you can convert an idea into existence, you start to create care and attention. And you know what really turns on? Is your brain. The creative side of the care and existence in your brain starts to kick in. And instead of you just getting the kaleidoscope and spinning it all the time, you actually do start doing something about it. So how do we do that? Creating existence is about tactile. Whatever you do, if you want to move your idea into reality, start making things with it. Turn the idea into something you can touch. So those things are, get yourself a presentation document and don't leave it in a digital space, print it out and plaster it over your wall. Make it tactile. Get a certificate or a receipt. Go and get yourself a registered business name. I don't think it's a lot of money, and get yourself something like this and shove it up on the wall. You know, you're actually making something exist. Phil and me created an organisation which is called the Industry Professor Association, and it was only an idea, and we started to move it forward. And the day we moved it forward was when we faxed the application to the state government to get them to accept us as an organisation, yeah. And I said, Phil, this is a significant moment. We're about to create an organisation that's going to outlive us by 100 years. We better do something about it. So he said, oh, we'll take a selfie. So we took a selfie and we managed to hit him, me and the photocopier. And we reckon the photocopier was probably the smartest one in the photo. But I knew at that point we were creating existence. And if you type Industry Professor Association into your computer, you will see this thing does exist, or at least people think it does. And we believe it. We have it mentioned here in big high-level meetings about Industry Professor Association. We created existence on that day because we turned something into something very real. So get yourself a printed logo and a letterhead. We have that. Start creating values. You know, the thing about existence, the thing about you guys being existence is that you have values. You've got to give your organisation values. You've got to tell your idea what it stands for. What meaning is it trying to create? This organisation or this business or this idea that you've got, what meaning for others is it trying to create? Is it trying to make someone's life better? Is it trying to change something? Is it trying to satisfy a human need? What meaning is it's got? What manifesto have you got? Have you written the ideas manifesto? This business that you're going to start, have you said this is what we believe? We believe the market is this. We believe that there's lacking in here. We believe that this product here would satisfy. You know, where's your manifesto? Where's your statement that you type out and go up to who was the guy that stapled his thesis to the wall? That guy. You know, he wrote this, Middle Ages guy. And he went and said, this is what I believe. You know, Martin Luther, not King, just Martin Luther, went and wrote this, what I believe, and he went and nailed it to the wall. We need to do that. We need to do that because that's creating existence, guys. That's turning something that didn't exist into something that does exist. While it stays as an idea, it's killing you. You're using energy for nothing. You're just a wheel spinning in the sand. Move it forward by creating existence. Give it a mantra. Give it a 3-word mantra. Your reason for existence. You know, find the 3 words that you know, changing people's lives or whatever it is. Come up with a mantra. We're going to play with that tonight. Get your names. Get your domain names. Domain names aren't that expensive. You know, $19 for 2 years as a .com or some of the new names that you're getting. Get yourself a name. Get yourself a .au, a .com.au or whatever. Apply for a trademark if you can. Certainly design a logo. For $50 you can go out onto Freelancer, and during the course we might have a go at that. At $50 you can have a really decent logo. Once you see that logo, you're creating existence. You're moving this idea away from just going around in your head, I've got this idea, into actually creating existence. And your brain operates differently when it sees something. While it's in your head, your brain is actually not engaged. You think your brain is thinking about your idea. It's not. It's saying it's just another dream. He's having another dream. He's having another dream. As soon as it sees something physical, you're holding some certificate, you're seeing a logo that was sent to you and you printed it out and you've got some manifesto that you've got, in your hand. Once you see that, your brain kicks into commitment. And once your brain kicks into commitment, your business starts to actually become real. Because it's a trap. I've seen people just with ideas and they're still thinking ideas 10 years later because they've existence. Let's move on. Make some public declarations. That's the scary bit. I'm going to open a business. I'm going to go and do this. Here's my website out there in the public saying what it's about. Go onto WordPress, go onto Blogger, go onto Weebly and get yourself a website and create your business, create your existence. Get a business card. Even though your business doesn't exist, get yourself a business card and have a tactile thing that you can give to people. Your brain is kicking in. You are now creating existence. In your verbal conversations, speak as if this thing exists. In a way, this is just still an idea, but because you've converted it into physical things and tactile things, your brain is actually believing it, and more importantly, everyone else starts to believe it as well. So this is, it's a little bit fake it till you make it. It's a little bit of that, but it's not really. It's actually trying to turn your brain into doing things that actually make the thing happen. Your brain has got capacities that we don't understand. There's a lot of talk about how much capacity we've got, but we've got to unlock our brains. And I tell you, while your idea stays as an idea in your brain, you are not unlocking the potential of your brain. It's playing with it like a ball against the wall. So we're going to fool the brain into actually saying, no, I'm not thinking about this idea anymore. I'm actually going to create some tactile things out of it. And these are the things that you should try and do. The why is important is absolutely essential. A lot of us, when I say, what are you going to do? You say, this is what I plan to do. Oh, really? That's great. And that's what you're going to open a shop? Yeah, I'm going to open a shop. We're going to say, oh, good. So how are you going to do it? Oh, I'm thinking of doing it through a retail shop and, going to open one down the corner, or I'm going to operate it from home. All very good stuff. This is the part we often miss, is the why you're doing this. A lot of us haven't thought through the why. And remember before, most of us, if you walked in the door and said, why are you doing this? You say, Pete, are you crazy? To make money from me. That actually is true for you, but your business cannot work like that. Your business will only survive if it makes value for other people. Your business to survive needs to have a different mindset to you. In the business scheme of things, you're just the owner, but you're not the business. The business says back to you, why do I exist? The business is crying out and saying, in a way, as a separate entity, so what's my purpose again? What's my existence? And you can't just say to the business to make money for me. You've actually got to say to the business, what we're going to do is we're going to create this value for these people. And in doing that, we're going to do it in such a way that there's value left over for you, the owner. But we must start thinking about the why is this business going to exist? And this is all part of the creating existence. So I need to change your initial thinking from one of I'm doing business to make money to what is my business going to stand for? Why is it going to exist? And seeing success through your stakeholders' eyes, not through your shareholders' eyes, which is you, but your stakeholders, your customers' eyes. So the previous thinking was what you were going to do and how you were going to do it. But stakeholders want to know why. The best why gets the best resources. Why we have to nut out the why is because when you can properly articulate why you're doing something, that's when you get resources. That's when you get commitments from other people. That's when suppliers come on board. That's when customers want to connect with you. Apple have worked this out brilliantly. Those of you that are Apple people, you're connected to Apple because of the why. Because they decided very early on they would be style. They would be design. They would be user experience. That was their mantra. And you know what? You guys believe in it and want to align with it. So when you see an Apple devotee, what the Apple devotees are doing, they're connecting to the why of Apple. And Apple got this that story better than anyone. They got the why story really well. And when they get people to buy from them, they get converts. They don't get customers, they get people they believe. And that's what we need to think about too. So first we must make meaning. And I know that sounds a bit funny, but your business must make meaning. These are your choices, team. You can solve a pressing problem or a pain. Some of you are looking at somebody that, like I said, that RPL process, it was a pain. Staff hated the RPL process. So I said, well, let's solve a pressing pain. That was making meaning. We're going to solve that pain. Maybe it's satisfy human needs. Sometimes it's just you're going to open this business. This business's job is to satisfy a basic human need: food, drink, shelter, self-esteem, whatever it is, you are going to satisfy a need. You're going to increase the quality of someone's life. You know, they often say with products, you're not trying to create. People don't buy better features. When they're buying a product, they're not looking for better features. You know what they're looking for? They're looking for a better life. What they want by buying your product is a better life. And you never want to forget that. You're not trying to offer better features than your competitors. You're trying to say, if you buy from me, you will have a better life. When you get that story right, and when you can explain that and articulate that well, you've got a business that has a reason for existence. Change people's lives for the better. You know, that's often a good one. Right a terrible wrong. Some of you will be involved in a social entrepreneurship where you'll actually try and right a terrible wrong, but you'll do it in a very entrepreneurial way. Or prevent the end of something good, something that you've really loved and something you think is really good. You're actually going to go in and create a business that actually this idea was being crushed, but it's still a good idea. It was just being done the wrong way. You've come up with a new way of doing it, and you've saved something that was going to be really good and make it work. So there probably are other meanings, but there's ones you want to look at. Which one is your business going to create? Which meaning are you into? Remember, I know all of you said I'm into it for myself. That doesn't cut it. That won't get your business up and running. We need to get a meaning for the business.
Peter?
Yes?
Do you think one of those is enough, or should you be able to tick two or three?
You may. One is enough. One is certainly enough. For some, for some organizations, this just right a terrible wrong is all they need. I'm in this business because I want to right a terrible wrong. Sometimes you'll take more than one, for sure. But you don't need more than one, you just need at least one, yeah? So get a founder's manifesto. And I've got a worksheet here which I'll get you to take home and work on. But there's a founder's manifesto that you need to start writing tonight. So all of you that have got an idea, I need you to start creating existence tonight, right? You're going to sit through this course and let your idea percolate, you're going to go nowhere. I need you to actually say these things. With your idea that you've got, what's your offers? You're obviously going to launch your business or your product into this market. So what's wrong with the existing offers? Tell me. Write that down. There's a failure with existing offers, and this is it. This is your manifesto. This is your what I believe. This is the thing you're not going to go and nail it to the church, but you're going to nail it to your wall. What's the future of the market? How do you see the future of the market you're going in? I see the future of the market going green. I see the future of the market going low cost. I see the future of the market being low energy products. What are the needs facing your target customers? What problems do you believe your target customers have? What are those problems? And what is the solution what should the solution look like? If this is the problem of the target customers, this is the sort of solution that should be offered. And then obviously you will be targeting your business in that solution zone. But this is a manifesto. This is a, if you like, this is a what you believe. And I know it sort of feels a bit passionate, but you don't create existence by just being blasé. You create existence because you have a belief about something. And if that belief isn't there and isn't written down, you're not going to create the existence that I'm looking for. And then, of course, you have founding principles. You're going to say this business is built on what? What is this build? It's a worksheet to help you with that. So make it tactile, particularly this founder's manifesto. Write it, frame it, put it on your wall. I can't stress enough tonight, you guys that are wanting to start a business, why don't you start making everything you're thinking about tactile? Those things you can do, put them in a frame and put them in your office wall. Or print them out and put them somewhere. Or even better, start creating a website and start posting. Start making it happen and start creating existence, and you will be very surprised at how far that business idea will become a reality. While it stays in your head, it is actually going nowhere. And you know what? I think it's destroying you while it stays in your head. Get it out of your head. So what's your mantra? We need to have a mantra, guys. We need to have a 3-word mantra that sums up our reason for existence. Because, be careful here, a mantra is not a byline. Where is it? A byline is a marketing thing. I think the latest Coke one is take a top off, enjoy, or something. I don't know. What's the Coke one? I've lived through so many, I've forgotten them all. But Coke have this mantra, not the mantra, byline. But you can rest assured, directors get into their room and they close the door and they say, what's our mantra? It'll be something like, to make a something lot of money. They have a very clear mantra, don't they? When they get behind closed doors, the mantra is the thing that guides decision-making when you're in with your key founders. Phil and me have it all the time, you know. We say, yes, but remember our mantra was this. Yeah, so that's why we have to go this way. A mantra is a statement that explains the reason for your existence so that when you have to make a decision, you refer to that mantra and it helps you make the decision. Remember, we were only going to target, or we believe the target market was this, and we've got to stay with that target market. Okay, we know that this market exists, but we said we weren't going to go for that. Our business exists to serve this particular need. And you've got to have that. You've got to have that mantra. So I'll be looking for you guys with the case study that we do, as well as for your own businesses, to have that mantra, 2 to 3 words that really sums up, nails what you do. Now, it might not be your byline. It's just the thing that informs your stakeholders, your partners, or the people that are in what your business is really all about. So names create existence. Domain names create existence. So those of you that can, we'll probably show you next week, obviously. Next week it is on names, so we'll show you that. Because there's before there was only 13 domain names like .com, .biz, .edu, .org. There are actually now extensions you can get now. And we changed one of ours from a .com to a .education, and instead of going down in the rankings, it actually went up. So we've actually got basic accounting concepts .education. We changed that because .education exists now. How cool is that? And not only that, there's .accountant, there's .cafe, there's .melbourne. I think Brisbane's not out yet. You can actually, you know how you used to get .com, now you can get .everything. And so we're going to encourage you to find a name that you can get and get that ownership. I've got up there that .com and .com.au, you still need to get them. They still carry a lot of weight in the Google search, but it was very interesting when we changed from a .com to an .education that our page rank and our views just went up. We need to get a business name, and that's done through ASIC, Australian Securities Investment Commission. So go and invest in a business name. If you're happy with this name, let's go own it. Don't do it until I talk to you about names on Monday. Company names, if you've already done it, good. Company names, that's an extra thing. If you're going to go into business as a company, you want to secure company names. Trademarks. We can get trademarks in Australia. Applications about $120 a class, about $500 once it's approved, which takes about approved. Boy, do trademarks create existence. Nothing like that. Nothing like that thing with a big gold registered and being able to put R with a circle around. There's something real special about that. I'll show you how to get around that in the next lesson. Get some product names, guys. Don't call your product small, medium, and large. Give them what Starbucks do, you know, Granda and all this sort of stuff. Think about your product names. Those of you that are thinking about products, give it some pizzazz, give it some ownership, give it a name that that you can own, you know. Like McDonald's did, they didn't call it the hamburger with the beetroot and the cheese, it became the Mac Oz, didn't it? And the cheeseburger, and you know, they actually not only created a name for their products as well. We need to do the same. Think about even your service. You know, they often have the silver service and the platinum service or the silver bullet service. Come up with these names. We can own these names. These names help create